Hi, my name is Catherine Hurlin. I'm a soloist with American Ballet Theater, and I'm here to show you how I sew my pointe shoes. Okay, so I have all of my things that I need. Old pair of pointe shoes that I have to take off the elastics. I have my dental floss and my needle. I use dental floss as the thread. It's stronger, and actually I like it because it doesn't get tangled up, which sometimes when you have other thread that's in a spool like this, it somehow gets all tangled up and like that. But dental floss is nice and sturdy and straight. I use a nice needle that's on the harder side. I know there's a lot of needles out there that are thinner. I use a thicker one because it's a harder surface to puncture. Some shoes actually are easier to sew through, and then there's some that are really hard, like Gator Minden, I think, are really hard to sew through. Then I have just an old pair of scissors, it doesn't matter, and jet glue, which I will explain how I use my jet glue on my shoes. My shoes are custom Freeds, and I don't use ribbon as my ribbon. I use elastic as my ribbon, and I wear them a little bit different than average. I don't tie them because it has happened to me on stage where my ribbon has come untied, and I was traumatized, and I found this way to wear my shoes where I don't have to worry about my ribbons coming undone. I use this elastic. I actually don't know the brand of this elastic, but I call it the invisible elastic. I get it from Tomoko, who is the ABT shoe lady, or costume lady as well. Okay, so here's my new pair of pointe shoes. They are size 7 because my feet are gigantic. Size 7, 2X, and I wear butterfly maker. And I think I have, Fortiflex with a heel pin, I believe, yes. Okay, so first what I do is I will take off the old ribbons. It's always good to reuse your ribbons or elastic because it can be expensive, and this is just a better way to save money. So after I do all of this, and you'll see sometimes with Freeds, this bit sometimes falls off, like peels off when my foot is nice and sweaty. Cute. And so I put duct tape over it to like nail it down. It's just something that I do. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I do that. Okay, so we have, I do crisscross elastic and then another elastic going across my foot. So I have crisscross and then a third elastic going across. Then I have the big loop that is the ribbons, and I will show you after I've finished sewing them how I put it on. So we have first figure out which one is elastic and which one is the crisscross elastics are always ends up being longer than the elastic that goes across my arch. So this is that. Oops. This goes across. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. So floss. I do 2 arms length. Thread it through. Meet the 2 ends. Meet the 2 ends. Then a trick that my mom taught me, but I think a lot of people do this. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's normal. You wrap it around your finger, and you kind of like roll it, and then pull it to make the knot at the end. And I'm not really sure where I learned that. Actually, I think it was my mom. But I see a lot of people doing it, but then at the same time, I see a lot of people just like literally tying it. So that's an easier way. Okay, so I start here. I sew the first elastic here, and that brings it to the other side on this side. So I line it up like the bottom of the elastic with the inside seam. And I will basically just go in and out of each bar. You can sort of tell like the elastic is a bit, like there's sections, like there's lines. And I just go in and out in between each of those gaps. It takes me maybe, if I'm going really fast, and it could probably take me about like a half hour to sew a pair of shoes. But that's also like, you know, I don't actually do all of them. I'll just really quickly do it. Because I go through shoes a lot, like kind of quickly. Depending on the week, like if it was Swan Lake week. Oh, and so after I've gone through each bar, I do loops at the bottom of the elastic. And at the bottom, once I'm done, go through don't pull all the way, and then I do 2 and pull, and done. What was I saying before? I go through shoes a lot. Freeds tend to be softer, which I actually like because that way they're not as noisy. I know there's a lot of brands out there that are very noisy, and you can hear them on stage, and some people bang their shoes, like they literally bang out the noise. Like blocks are pretty noisy and capezias are pretty noisy. But Freeds, you just wear them and they're quiet. And I'm definitely a jumping kind of, they put me in the jumping roles a lot, so it's good that I have quiet shoes. Sometimes I'll go through a pair in like 2 days, especially during like a Swan Lake week. It's like every other day I'm sewing another pair of pointe shoes, which is a lot of money because these things are expensive. I think like one pair is, I remember when I was actually paying for my shoes when I was in the school, they were, I think, almost $100 per pair. And ABT, we get 10 pairs. We're allowed 10 pairs, I think, a week, which is a lot of pointe shoes. This is my shoe bag, by the way. All of these shoes. ABT has my name on it. Not everybody, you know, of course, uses all 10 pairs of shoes in 1 week. But during Swan Lake, yeah, go through a lot of shoes. So now I am taking the elastic that I had sewn in the back and bringing it to the other side of the shoe in like the middle of the shoe, on the side basically. I line it up like this. You see, if you can see this seam, I line it up right behind it. So it's kind of a big gap. I have a large gap between the back one and the front one, and you'll see in a minute why I do that, because I need my elastics to pull the shoe up. Sometimes I feel like the shoe can kind of look a little baggy on the side, so I use elastics to kind of mold the shoe to my foot. I like to sew like into this like pink strip part, because I think that it's sturdier for some reason. I don't know. And then I try to just do the inner layer of the shoe. There's this white canvas layer, and then there's this satin layer. And when I do the loops, I try my best to just get there's a hair. I try to just get the canvas, the white canvas fabric, just because I don't want there to be like, you know, not that you would see it on stage, but 1, 2, pull and snip. Okay, and now, oh wait, no, now, right, this guy, the small one. So this one I just go across the shoe. I do this one closer to the front, like this. So again, lining it up the bottom of the elastic with the seam. Just going through. I do crisscross and this because not only because I'm trying to pull the shoe up, but also just for support on my arch. It's taken me a long time to figure out what's the proper way for me to sew my pointe shoes for myself. It started out with my mom sewing my shoes first. Then I would just sew them regularly, but then like a regular, just one elastic and then 2 ribbons, and then the ribbons always kind of became baggy by like my arch, and that didn't look great. And then I decided, what about if I angle, some people angle the elastic, or I mean the ribbon to go a little bit this way so it wraps around the foot that way. Tried that didn't really work for me. And then people started using elastic as ribbon. I mean, not the way that I use it, just one loop, but they would use the same material, elastic, but tie it like a normal ribbon. And I used to do that, and that worked for a while because I felt like it had some give, but at the same time was very supportive and sturdy. And then my elastic came undone, so I was like, all right. Actually, another point why I started doing this loop thing was ABT's production of The Sleeping Beauty. There's this really, really fast, quick change from the court ladies into nymphs, and we're wearing, it's maybe 2 minutes. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but it's really wicked fast to go from character shoes in a wig into pointe shoes into a tutu. I used to wear my toe pads in my character shoes, in my tights, in my character shoes, so that I just take the character shoe off and slip the pointe shoe right there. And I started doing this way because it's way faster to put on shoes. So, where I place the loop, the big ribbon loop, is right next to the elastic that goes across. One more thing. So, it just makes one big loop. Actually, one thing I can say, I remember, it's actually good luck if you poke yourself, by accident, of course, with the needle and your fingers start to bleed or something. You're supposed to put the blood on your pointe shoe, because apparently that's supposed to give you good luck. Like, it's supposed to give you this is going to be a good pair of pointe shoes for you to wear. Fun fact. You know, another nice thing about using floss is that there's a little bit of stretch in floss. Even though it's like very sturdy, there's a little bit of an elasticity to it, which is good, because if the thread or whatever it is that you're using is too stiff, sometimes it can rip up your elastics and or ribbon. Okay, so that shoe is done. If the thread is longer, I just put it back in the thing like that. It fits perfectly. Close it up and just, and voila. And voila. Now, I am going to show you how I use my jet glue. So, normally I jet glue my shoes before I even wear them. Some girls jet glue their shoes after they've worn them once, or when they're about to dye, and then the jet glue saves them so that they last longer. I like to jet glue my shoes from the very beginning because that's how they last longer for me. I do it on the inside of the box and in the back, right by my arch. So first I do, and I kind of use a lot. I go through a lot. I think, what I said before about frieze being, so I just poked a hole through the thing so that it would come out. What I said before about frieze being kind of soft, it's kind of true. Like, they kind of get soft quick. So putting jet glue, and frieze work really, really well with jet glue, like really well. So I highly recommend jet gluing your shoes, your frieze beforehand. So I do basically the whole like box up to here on the inside. And the reason why I do more than just the tip is, jet glue is very sticky, highly toxic. Is because, this part of the shoe can sometimes get a little, you can see like old pointe shoes, like wear and tear happens up here as well. So it's good that this is nice and sturdy. Also, it gives more support if that's why the box is hard. So you gotta make the box, keep it hard. But it still is soft afterwards. So that's, I guess, good. So after I do that, then I do jet glue right over where they put like the X's and the butterfly. That's where I do it. Some girls do it in other places. It really depends on where your arch is. It depends on where you need the shoe to be a little bit harder. I have done in some cases wanted the shank to be a little bit more hard because I'm on point for longer or something, and I want, you know, this to be really straight and nice. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put jet glue. I try to like pour the jet glue on the inside of the shank. I'm not really sure if this actually works, but I do it anyways, thinking that it is working. So it's just kind of like on the inside there, and I do it on both sides. The reason why I do it on the outside and not immediately, like if I wanted this part to be hard, I don't want to put jet glue on this part where the ball of my foot would be on the floor, because jet glue can be really slippery. So if you put jet glue too far down, there's a chance that you would just slip with it. So here, my foot doesn't really touch the floor. There. So I bend it a little bit this way. For me, this nail that they put in the back always comes out anyways, and then it digs into my foot, so I just take it out before it you know, pokes my foot. That, then flatten out the box a bit, and then do that for demi-point. There. So yeah, that's how I sew my shoes. I hope you enjoyed it. It's unique, but it works for me. So this is how I put on my pointe shoes. Please excuse my nail polish. I wear Ouch Pouch Junior toe pads. So, put it on. See, you can see the crisscross elastics, and then the smaller elastic that just goes straight across. Then I do this bad boy. Okay, so we have the loop, we crisscross, go over the foot. Then we crisscross behind the ankle, like so. And some people make the mistake of crisscrossing it this way, and then it gets all tangled or twisty. So you have to make sure that whichever way it is, it will line up like this. Then you go underneath the foot and around, and then bring all of it back up. That way. You have a around the foot elastic without needing to tie it. Ta-da! Okay, and then for the drawstring, what I normally do is I normally stand up and then I go to demi-point and then pull it so that I see, you know, all of these gaps get tight. And then you just tie a bow. And then I normally make, you know, a smaller bow, and then you cut off like that. And you tuck it in. And there you go. Ready for action.